Listen to your breath.
Please welcome author, humorist, and your bedtime storyteller, Dylan Brody.
Paul set out the Scrabble board as he did every afternoon. Ellen shook the bag with the lettered tiles, the familiar rattling sound, a source of comfort. They each picked an initial letter to find out who got to pull tiles and play first. They did not need to speak during this process. Whoever pulled the letter that came earlier alphabetically would choose and play first. The other person would pour drinks. It was so much a part of the game, it might as well have been printed as part of the instructions inside the lid of the box. They showed one another their single tiles, and Paul went to pour. Ellen was secretly glad, not because she liked to go first, but because Paul poured more generously. She always tried to keep each drink close to an actual shot's worth, although she did it by eye rather than measuring. Paul showed less concern for appearances. Ellen didn't really know why she cared so much when it was the two of them only, but she did. She tried to keep each drink down to 2 fingers at the most. He brought the ice clinking glasses back with him as she arranged the tiles on her little plastic rack. She sipped her drink and said, "Jameson? Yeah, sorry, did you want the Macallan? No, this is good, this is nice." She put out tiles, she counted points. She marked the number on a score sheet made from the back of a letter folded down the center to create a long, thin strip. She did not say that Daniel had called her during the day. She sipped her Irish whiskey and pulled replacement tiles from the bag. Paul examined his tiles. He looked at the letters on the board. He looked at the letters on his rack. He rearranged them on the rack, anagramming. He did not say that he had seen the envelope addressed to their son, stamped, waiting near the outgoing mail. He had not lifted it to the light to see through to the contents. He knew what it was. He didn't know how much it was made out for, but that really wasn't the issue. He played his first word parallel to hers, overlapping and extending beyond it, dragging double points from the first 3 letters he played, plus bonus points from her letters. She counted the points, marked them on the score sheet, and examined the layout of the board. "We're starting with that, are we?" Paul snorted acknowledgement. He sipped his Irish. He pulled new tiles from the bag. He did not ask her how much she was sending to Daniel. He did not ask whether it was more or less than the young man had requested. Ellen put out a simple word, short and low scoring, but it allowed her to get some of the vowels off her rack. She hated the silence. She hated having secrets hanging in the room. She didn't know why she kept it a secret, really. It wasn't as if Paul would ever forbid her to send Daniel money. That wasn't how they functioned as a couple. He would just be annoyed. Exactly that. He would be annoyed in the passive voice. He would be annoyed. He would get scoldy, or worse, just clench his jaw so that she could see the muscles working at the side of his face as he held back the quiet, judgmental irritation. Still, the secrecy didn't make any real sense. He would know eventually if he didn't know already. He always seemed to know already when she told him, every time. Paul placed another word on the board, managing now to both parallel and intersect, milking double and triple impact from every bit of each word, the primary and the incidental. He made them count the words. He got extra value wherever he could. He drained his glass and stood up to refill it. A glance at Ellen's led her to check it. She paused to imply that it was a considered decision, and then held hers up for him for refilling. Through all of this, National Public Radio droned through the old component audio system. Neither of them listened to the reports, the stories of partisan wrangling and rumors of executive-level misconduct. Today, Paul and Ellen let the soothing sounds of informative journalism slide past as a minimalist, monotone movie score under the silent scape of their afternoon. Paul returned with the drinks. Ellen sipped. She studied her letters. She rearranged them, almost certain a 7-letter big score hid in there somewhere. Paul took a long pull on his drink. He lit a cigarette with a plastic disposable lighter. For the 5,000th time, he said, I sort of miss that whiff of sulfur. I know, honey, nothing's what it was. He'd had enough of the Irish now. He said, how much this time? Ellen winced. She held up a finger to silence him while she placed her tiles on the board, counting points, adding them to her score. Only after she'd counted 7 new tiles from the bag did she say, 25. 2,500? She nodded. Jesus. He placed his single word overweighted on the board, and Ellen tallied his score. Even with her big word bonus, he was within 5 points of her. He fell behind on rent. He always seems to have enough for grass. He sipped his drink. Can we not do this? You know you're enabling him. You know that, right? The economy isn't what it was when we were their age. Then the silence fell again for a bit. She played a word, he played a word. Someone on NPR talked to a factory worker who did not understand international markets about how he would be affected by changes in international markets. Some birds will just sit in the nest until the mothers push them out to fall or fly. Ellen said, I don't think that's right. No, it's true. Well, I'm not that kind of bird. The pause was long and filled with sipping and playing. Maybe he is that kind of bird. You want me to tear up the check? I can call him and tell him it's not coming. Don't make me the bad guy here. I didn't mean to be doing that. They placed tiles, they clinked ice. How much time did he spend telling you how well things were going before he asked? A lot. Then, after just a tiny beat, how did we get it so wrong? I don't know that we did. I'm not a terrible mother, am I? Paul shrugged. There's no manual. There's no right way. After his own tiny beat, he conceded, it might have been me. I don't know. I don't know anything. Ellen did her final addition. She showed the sheet to Paul. Good game. Another? Ellen handed him her glass. She folded the game board up the middle, jumbling all the tiles and using it to channel them back, all the words broken up and returned to the bag. She shook the bag, less to mix the letters, she realized, than because she found the sound so comforting. Listen